In the dead of winter during World War II, as Europe groaned under the weight of artillery fire and smoke, a small town called Malmedy in Belgium froze under the snow, as if time itself had stopped there, poised between life and death. It was December 1944, during the final German offensive known as the Ardennes Offensive. The world watched, and snow covered everything, except blood. On a frigid morning that day, a convoy of American soldiers moved along the winding roads near Malmedy, young men in their 20s, their faces weary, their breaths frozen in the air. Little did they know that death awaited them on the quiet white road. Suddenly, the roar of heavy engines roared, followed by a sudden bombardment. The Germans, led by Colonel Joachim Pieper, a commander of the SS armored units, appeared, their eyes devoid of mercy. They surrounded the American convoy with astonishing speed, and hands were raised in the air. It wasn't a battle, it was surrender. The American prisoners were led into an open field covered with a thick layer of snow. The cold stung their faces, and the air held a vague, ominous premonition. Some thought they were being taken to a prisoner of war camp, but the looks in the German soldiers' eyes were as cold as steel. A German officer stood on a small hill and gave his orders sternly. There was no explanation, just a few words in German followed by the click of a rifle. Then, the shots rang out. The bullets echoed among the snowy hills, and the field was filled with cries of pain and the silence of death. Dozens fell to the ground, and the white snow turned a dark red. Some prisoners tried to flee into the woods, but the bullets caught up with them one by one. It wasn't a battle, it was a massacre. As evening fell, the sun disappeared behind heavy clouds, and the bodies lay still beneath the snow. There were no witnesses but the wind howling above them and the sky that poured out only freezing cold. Days later, when the American forces advanced again, they discovered the field frozen faces, piled up bodies, and indescribable horror. This was the Malmedy Massacre. More than 80 American soldiers were murdered in cold blood, in violation of every law and every human being. The story didn't end there. After the war, when the world sat in Nuremberg to judge the perpetrators, the name Pieper appeared in the hall. He coldly defended himself, saying that chaos and circumstances had killed him, not him. But the eyes that read the records of the massacre didn't believe him, because bloodshed cannot be justified. And in that small Belgian town, the field remained a witness. The snow returns every winter, covering the same land, but the land does not forget. Whoever passes there today will hear, if they listen closely, the whisper of the wind saying, "Here, the snow melted with blood, and the war fell silent to hear the voice of slaughtered humanity."